How you guys doing? We thank you for tuning in. I am your nerdy Norman reviewer, the Elvin Barber, and joining me, as always, is the lore loyalist himself, TC, the Token Cripple.
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing?
And we are those guys. So today we are talking national disaster or national treasure. We're discussing episodes 3 and 4 today. Episode 3, not a lot happened. I mean,
Episode 3 was when they went to Graceland, right?
right, they went to Graceland because they found a clue that took them to Elvis's great grandmother, and they had to listen to some record that was found in the secret room, Elvis's secret room at Graceland. A lot of contrivances in this episode. Um, the one, actually, you know what? The one character that I did like, I think his name was Ethan, the Asian guy, right? I think his name is Ethan.
He's the only one
Um,
who's actually realistic and actually thinks. The other
yeah.
one, they want to affirm everyone else because they're not the pessimists. But
So I did like him until he like got super. He was like, I guess so. He got like butthurt because the main character Jess started. She's like, see, there's like a love thing going on between her and Liam, the character who's the grandson of Sandusky.
the one we
Uh,
call Anti Cage.
yes, Auntie Case, the grandson of Auntie Case, the ginger kid, right? He she's got like a thing going on with him. Clearly Ethan's jealous of this situation. Uh so the big thing I remember is him pretty much going to Ginger Kid and being like, "Hey, like you got to be careful around Jess because she's not a real citizen and she could get in trouble and blah blah blah." And I'm
I
thinking
feel
to
like that's really
myself,
stupid. Yeah, why would you say that? Why would that even?
I'm I'm like, one, you're telling this person's information. Like you barely know this guy.
You've
And then
literally they
two,
established 3 days. They've known him for three
yeah,
days.
3 days. And then two, um, I'm like, this bitch has been doing shit the whole time that could compromise her situation here in the States. So why don't you talk to Tasha and the guy from She-Hulk? Like why don't you have like the same mindset, when it comes to Jess and talk to them about, having, but obviously he still has a thing for Jess. So, he's going to say something to Ginger Kid there. But,
Yeah, that's how you win. You get brownie points by
oh,
throwing your
yeah.
supposed best friend under the bus and saying she's an undocumented immigrant. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly how the plot works.
I love that. What else happened? Oh, Billy, right? Did we have a name for her? Billy, the crypto queen. Was she just the crypto queen?
I I don't remember what we called her.
Uh,
Uh,
I call her crypto queen.
okay, let's go with Crypto Queen.
Crypto queen slash Tomb Raider, I guess. So her and
Oh,
her,
real
huh?
quick, how much you want to bet she's just going to be misunderstood at the end of the show?
Oh, well, most definitely, yeah.
Because it's kind of
It's a Disney product, so of course she's going to be misunderstood. Um, yeah. So her and her goons are in some ruins, some Mayan ruins, I think. And
yeah, they went to the Moon Mayan Pyramid.
yeah, and they're like going through it. The guy's going through this very like shallow looking part of the cave or whatever, and he ends up falling right to his death. I believe to his death. I'm not sure though, that you really can't tell because Crypto Queen immediately is like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Like she's like, we gotta go.
The one thing I will give her character, is she seems to care that he died.
Well,
Like,
she did show emotion.
yeah, it's not like, well, he was a dumbass, so let's leave him. It's like he's dead. Like,
Yeah.
it's not just, oh, my henchman was a jackass. Grr, that sets me back. Like, she actually seemed to be upset, which, okay, that's like the one piece of credit I can give her as a character. So I'll take it for what it's worth, I guess.
Yeah, no, yeah. I guess I would take that as well. Yeah, she did seem like the Crypto Queen, she did seem like she cared.
She wasn't
Somehow,
apathetic, so at least
right.
that's something. That's something.
They end up cracking the code out of Elvis's secret room, and they figure out, because of course they do, they figure out that the record has to be, it's Elvis speaking
Backwards on a record that didn't
backward.
exist.
Yeah, speaking backwards on a record that didn't exist. So of course, they figure out to get it to play forward, and he's like, "Oh, the dove, blah blah blah," and it leads to the next episode.
But
So
can I just ask?
Mm-hmm.
It took Cage 20 some odd years, probably, from the beginning of the show, from the beginning of the movie to when he starts like finding stuff.
Mm-hmm.
These people have been, as established in episode 4, working at this for 3 days. Isn't it just amazing that every single one of their hunches pays
pans
off?
out, right? Oh yeah.
We're looking for the king, the king of dawn or whatever the guy was. And it's like, oh, it's not the historical figure. It must be Elvis because Mason handshake. And then it just happened to be right. Like, all this stuff is so convenient. Like, they don't misstep once.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience, sir.
Yeah, no kidding. It just... Oh, and then the one character who's blah, 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 patriarchy, blah, blah, blah. She's obnoxious again. What's Professor Mansplainer saying was what she said now.
Oh yeah.
I love how all this stuff is just so. It's not even like they have some special information that they know that this guy is wrong. She's just immediately like, oh, he's a man, he's mansplaining. And at one other point, they said, oh, these clues exist, therefore my, ginger kid, Anti-Cage, he's like, oh, we know these clues exist, so my grandfather wasn't crazy. I'm like, just because those clues exist doesn't necessarily... they treat it like it's an absolute, like, oh, these clues either exist or my grandfather is crazy. I'm like, just because those clues exist doesn't mean your grandfather is sane.
Exactly.
So much on faith and treating it like it's a guarantee. And I'm just like, what?
It's like I said before, it's CW vibes, man. That's what this show is. It's CW vibes.
Oh, crap. That's episode 4. Sorry.
Let's go. We can dive into episode 4 that takes place at a wake. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Episode 4 takes place at the wake for Somebody's got to go to prison. That's just what I'm going to call him.
Yeah,
Um, Sandusky. Yeah, it shows.
Sandusky. Yeah.
Takes place at his wake, and Riley from the movie shows up.
Oh yeah, Riley Poole from the original National Treasure movie. Yeah.
I think he did better on The Hangover, but that's just me. Um, he's talking to Ben, and apparently they've been working on something. We're talking on the phone, but they couldn't afford Nicolas Cage, or they didn't want Nicolas Cage, so
Do you think they're gonna bring him in at some point to say referenced him?
they might. But I mean, at least they did reference him, and they implied that he was talking to him, so it
Right.
could happen.
That's true.
As opposed to just dropping the name and doing nothing with it. I do the one thing I do genuinely like is that we know in National Treasure he's only useful like twice in the movies.
Right.
He only actually knows like 2 clues, so it actually makes sense when they go to him for clues and he has no freaking clue what he's talking
He has
about.
no idea. He's just repeating it, and
but I mean, like I would say that's current year, but it actually fits his character, so I'm okay with it.
yeah.
I feel like he would have been smarter than to grab the glasses from a paranoid person with a safe room.
I feel like why was the glasses the only thing that you could touch in the alarm with? Like I feel like they were touching a
Weren't the
lot
other
of
things
stuff.
behind glass? I mean, the thing is, like, I thought the other things were behind glass.
Oh, I didn't think they were. I feel like a lot of stuff was just like out. And
I mean, maybe they just have more respect for his possessions.
That could be.
I mean, I both liked and disliked the way they were like, you're like Ben, you know. But the thing is, like, again, they say, "Oh, I've been working at this for 3 days." I'm like, yeah, it took Ben. They said it took him 30 years.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it took him some time. Yeah, she could just do it, like just.
I mean,
so fast.
They didn't crap on him or anything, so that's fine, I guess. But it just the show is so convenient. I wish they hadn't gone with a 21-year-old or a 20 and change year old with essentially no resources, who's got no documentation.
Yeah.
Because I wish they had more justification for how they were able to proceed from point A to point B. I thought Miss Patriarchy was really creepy. When Auntie Cage invited them to the wake, and she's like, "Oh, it must be a date." I'm like,
"Oh yeah, like no, like why would?"
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like, why would you assume that? Like he may just want you there for support. Like why? Like why is it? It's not a date, you bitch. Like I don't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't take somebody on their first date to a wake. It's no, like the fact that even occurred to her is weird to me.
Yeah, it's the weird writing right there. You know, she said something else. Do you remember when so there was that forced treasure hunt in his office once they were locked in because of the alarm, so they had to go around and figure it out.
Yeah.
So once they got out, right, and then they finally of course she did. She finally figured out that it wasn't the one person that held the clue. It was Sacagawea instead. And then Riley was like, he was like going through his dialogue, and he said something about race or segregation or racism. And of course, they had Miss Patriarchy just like co-sign and say something to that extent as well. And like, I was just like, I was like, really? I was like, of all the characters they could have picked to say that, of course, they had to pick the POC chick to co-sign. I forgot what she said, but I like rolled my eyes so hard.
I don't remember, but her character is really starting to annoy me.
Yeah.
Like at first it was just like eye rolling, but especially when she was like, "Oh, it must be a date." It's like he's asking you to go to his grandfather's wake. What the hell's wrong with you?
Like fucking relax. Like, oh my god. She's annoying. Ethan's annoying me even more this episode. You can tell he's just super jealous of Jess's new relationship. So
But I
uh,
mean, jealousy and stupidity shouldn't be synonymous. I I find it really really stupid that he said anything to Anti Cage in the previous episode. Anyway, I mean he owns up right away. That's fine. But one thing I wish Jess honestly, I don't have much in the way of bad things to say about Jess except that it's super convenient how easily she knows shit. Um,
yes, correct. Yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about her either. I mean, clearly she's just the best at puzzle solving.
the
um,
the one thing I do have to say is I really a little irritated that she was like, always forgiven, da 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 da, and then immediately in the next scene she's bitching and moaning. That
yeah, about her information.
yeah, I mean I'm not saying she shouldn't be upset, but don't tell the guy you're
It's
fine if you're
fine.
clearly not.
Yeah,
I mean, tell him, okay, I'm upset. I need a little bit of time, but we will be fine. That's all
yeah.
you
Just
need to
give me,
do. Just change it a little. I'm
yeah. Just
angry
give me
right
some,
now. Give me some
give me some
time.
space. Yeah, give me some time. Give me some space.
We'll be
It'll
fine.
work. Yeah, yeah. Instead, she's just like, oh, it's okay. It's all good.
And then
He
immediately,
leaves.
no, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah. Oh man. So, here's something else. So, Crypto Queen, right? When she was having that meeting with like the chairman in the office who are like looking for this big treasure here. One of them, I don't know if maybe I misheard, but did he say you lost your brother in the fall at the
Yeah,
cave? What did he say?
I thought he said brother. Yeah, it was really weird to me.
Yeah,
That
I'm, I'm like brother in the sense of like like humanity, like, or are we talking actual
or literally
sibling?
like, yeah, or literally brother. I don't know.
Because I mean
Um,
that would make sense to why she was very upset if it was like her actual
yeah,
brother.
like I said, that's the one thing I genuinely give this show credit for is she's not just like, ha 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 ha, I don't care if my henchman died. Um,
Then again, I also got the sense that they just wanted the man to get out of the way so she could just have the henchman female who could just solo two guards by herself.
yes, I noticed that too. I noticed that too.
two two guards with actual firearms, sir. And she was
And
able
a
to,
knife.
yeah, and a knife, and she was able to solo them by herself. Oh man, that's a girl boss right there.
It's just frustrating. And then Riley was like, "Oh, they had the recording of Elvis. Um, Crypto Queen does."
Right.
And oh, somebody in your team must not be on your side, and they immediately think it's Anti Cage, which clearly it won't
Yeah,
be because it's too obvious.
exactly.
Um, my bet is something
Uh,
happened when they were chasing them in the car in the previous episode.
right.
That's my bet. I don't think it's anybody. I don't think it's some great betrayal or anything.
I don't know. I think it might be the dumb one, like the guy from that I compared to the guy in She-Hulk.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean it's probably not. But I don't know. I feel like the way his abduction went, the way he was threatened if he gave up any information about them. I mean, it
And
could
the
have
way
happened
he
off screen.
capitulated.
Yeah, it could have happened off screen, but I think, it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could be the one feeding Crypto Queen information to keep them safe. I don't, but then, I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Also, I I don't understand earnestly. I don't understand why Jess and her crew is trying to find the treasure. At least not vehemently. Like I understand money, um, but they seem to have like a personal stake in it. And I'm just like, if you're trying to protect the treasure, destroy the map.
Yeah, that's I was thinking about that too. I'm like, so you're supposed to be, so your necklace, represents or symbolizes a protector of the treasure. So like, why do you want to go through all this extreme lengths to find it? Because at that point, it's no longer it's kind of vulnerable because now you know where it is. So
Yeah, a secret's
I
only a
don't
secret if no one knows about it.
exactly. So it's yeah, I don't know why finding this. Well, clearly everyone. So I know Anti Cage, Ginger Boy. I know he's got his own reasons for
I
wanting
mean,
to
they made it
to
clear.
find this. Yeah,
I still think it's incredibly stupid that he's angry with his grandfather for giving him a beautiful house. That still annoys me
yeah, he is
because he
pissed at his grandfather.
because he can't sell it and therefore can't move away. I'm like, you don't. It,
And the guy's like, "Oh, it's just gonna be like 2 to 3 years." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Dude, like maybe use these 2 or 3 years, keep playing guitar, try to find gigs around the city. Like just because you lost the gig at one fucking bar doesn't mean there's like not a plethora of bars. Like, just find another one. Like I don't understand. I
and
don't know.
also, he literally had no audience.
Yeah,
We saw him playing twice, and I'm not saying he's not good because I mean clearly he is. I find it very unrealistic that as few people were listening as clearly were.
yes, I agree. I agree.
Um, and he did belt out some Elvis, which that was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I don't know why the Graceland people were so pissy about it. I mean, in isolation, I don't.
Well,
I know
yeah,
the other stuff that was going on makes sense that they'd be like, yeah, something's weird, but as far because they're as stupid as somebody who falls for a fake mustache. Um, I don't know because there was no suspicion on the kid. I don't know why they were like, "You need to get out of here," and not just, "Can you just stop playing those songs, please?"
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they made a much bigger deal than it would have been. I feel
They
like.
no, I agree. I agree. They did. That was in episode 3. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm
Yeah.
backtracking a little.
No, no, no.
Um,
That's fine. That's fine.
but again, it's like that's the other thing with like, oh my god, so and so is betraying you. I'm like, literally, what motive? Like literally the motive. That's always the thing that because she immediately suspects him. It's like literally everyone in your group knows the clue now.
Yeah. I
So
even
it's like, why does he?
like,
Yeah,
and I mean, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that Crypto Queen just has a a mic somewhere in Sandusky's office or something like that. I mean,
I don't know.
clearly
Yeah, it's
she's
totally.
got a she's got a camera focused on the house itself. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if after
She's got
his death.
functional. She has functionally infinite resources, as far as
Yeah,
we can tell.
I
Like,
wouldn't be surprised that they killed him off and someone was in there and kind of planted something like that. That could have easily have been as well. So
and don't you love how all the clues have been within easy driving distance?
we don't have to go far at all. It's just like right here.
Oh, and then
Uh,
they complained that nice FBI lady was interrogating them. I'm like, a little bit, yeah, but I
mm,
mean, it wasn't a harsh interrogation by any stretch of the imagination. It was more of a fishing expedition, if anything else.
if anything, yeah. But again, that was patriarchy who said that, right? Wasn't that patriarchy who said that?
I think so. I think it was,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, well, I mean, They were very like if you call that an interrogation, it was a very nice interrogation. They weren't mean to you.
They weren't.
They didn't
I
threaten
mean,
you
she
or
wasn't.
anything. They just
She was just
they
at.
just trying to
She was
figure
just
out what
acting.
you found.
Yeah, she was just asking some questions. That's it. That's it. Um. Yeah, I mean, are we missing anything else? I feel like that's pretty much the highlight of
Um.
episode
Oh,
3 and 4.
Riley and Jess almost die from suffocation. Because they've almost run out of oxygen. Um. And Riley
Isn't
falls
she?
over first and falls unconscious, and Jess is just fine.
Isn't she so great that she just figured out all the clues while losing air?
Yeah.
Like they even made it a point. She was like, "Oh, I feel so lightheaded," and I'm pretty sure she even fell to her knee quite a few times. Yeah, she was
But of
still
course,
able
Riley
to.
falls over once and then just can't get back up.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Oh man.
like I actually have not. I don't. I mean, there's a little bit of Mary Sue quality to her. There definitely, but I mean, she's not unlikable person really.
No,
She's
no, no. She's not.
fine.
She's not an unlikable character at all. Like I don't. She doesn't annoy me, and a lot of characters annoy me, male and female. Like I'll
Oh
put that
yeah,
out there. But
yeah,
she doesn't really annoy me. I think the thing that bothers me is just how easily things cut. Like things come too easy for her. One and
yeah.
two, she doesn't have enough life experience to have these things come easily to her.
No,
like
yeah, I'm not saying she can't figure it out, but I mean,
right.
they established it's literally been 3 days. I'm
And it's
like,
like her in her repeating that she's good at puzzles or this is like an escape room. I'm good at those. Like we get it. All right. We
you
fucking
solved
get
the
it.
unescapable escape room.
You can solve puzzles. All right. Good for you. Okay.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, good for you. You're still you're
There
still
you
20
go.
you're still 20 something and some change. There's no fucking way you should know as much as you know. All right, but whatever.
Okay, one last thing.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely shocked how little she knows about her father.
Hmm.
Like she literally didn't know what he looked like.
Yeah, she didn't. Mom didn't tell her a damn thing. The only thing mom told her was he was a piece of shit. That was it.
And it's like
That was it.
she knew about the treasure too. I'm like, yeah. I mean, does it really surprise you? I mean, she went running because your father said to. So clearly they were close. That's the
Yeah.
other thing. It's like I just assumed they always hated each other. You were born. you, you were born, and it didn't sound like it was a one night stand if she has that much to say about your father.
Exactly.
So it just seems strange. It's like, oh, they must have always hated each other. It's like literally, she wouldn't know enough about your father to bitch about him if it was a one night stand, and that's the only way that degree of, yeah, I don't know. It's just strange.
No, it is strange. It is
Oh,
strange.
I do find it funny that she's bitching and moaning. She's not bitching and moaning that Auntie Cage knows she's undocumented. She's just like, people treat me differently. Like they're either trying to protect me or they look at me like like a lesser person. I'm like, bitch, that's what they should be doing if they're your friend.
They should be trying to look out for you. Like, I don't understand.
If
Oh
they
man,
didn't do that, I would question your reason for being friends with them. That's
exactly.
my thing. It's like I genuinely would question the morality of the people you surround yourself with if they didn't do that.
If they didn't do that, yeah, yeah. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, that's all I got on these two. So what are you ranking both the well, let's start with episode 3 from 0 to 10.
Um, Um, a 3, I guess.
I would say a 3. And episode 4.
I, I'll go with 3 again for both. Because I mean, it gets some points for having Riley, but there's also a lot of stupid in the
Agreed.
show. So I mean, it would be a 4, but there was a lot of stupid bringing it back down. So I'm putting it at a 3 again.
Perfect. Perfect. I would do the same. I would do the same. Well, we thank you guys for tuning in. We do ask that you smash that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you think about national disaster, the edge of dog shit. Leave a comment. Share this video out there. That bell for notifications. Have a happy new year. You guys take care.
Have a good one, everyone.